Hi everyone. Today we are going to be working with whether an object is heavier or lighter than another object. You need your workbook page 293. It should look like the one on the screen. And the title of it says weight, heavier or lighter. So pause the video, go get your workbook and a pencil, and then unpause the video. Okay, so we have been learning what a balance scale looks like. I have drawn one over here in the corner. We have learned that it's almost like a seesaw and that we can measure things comparing them with other things as to whether the object is heavier or lighter than the other. And we have learned that if an object is heavier, it goes down like this watermelon, and if it is lighter, it goes up like this little strawberry. So looking at this scale here, we can see that the watermelon is heavier than the strawberry, or we could say that the strawberry is lighter than the watermelon. Well, today we are going to try to balance the scale, and we're going to use different objects that are not the same on both sides, just like this watermelon and strawberry. So let me get my scale ready here for you. Alright, so I have my watermelon on this side. How many strawberries do you think it would take to weigh the same as the watermelon and balance this scale? Well, I'm not sure exactly because I have never balanced them, but I can tell you it would take a lot of strawberries. A big pile of strawberries. Okay, and that is what we're going to do today. We're going to compare an object on one side, and then we're going to try to match the weight on the other side to balance the scale. So let's take a look at our workbook page. On the top here, we can see a key. Do you remember whenever we would read maps, there was always a key that would tell us what certain things meant? Maybe there was a picture of a tree, and so on the map then we would see anywhere where there was a tree, that meant that there was a forest in the map, or maybe roads were black lines. Well, for this we have a key also. So let's take a look at this. It says one large block. That's this right here. One large block is as heavy as two small blocks. So you can see the two small blocks here, and then you see the one large block there. And what else do you notice about this scale? If you said that it is balanced, you are correct. The scale goes straight across. So it is balanced. But it takes two small blocks to weigh the same as the one large block. Yep. So we're going to use that as our key. So let's take a look at number one. Number one, let me keep my key here so you can see it. Let's take a look. The directions say put an X on the scale that is not correct. Use the key. Okay, remember, this is the key right here. One large block is as heavy as two small blocks. Okay, so let's take a look here. We have one large block and one light block, or small block. Would that be right? If you said yes, you're correct, because it takes two small blocks to weigh the same as the one large block. So that one is correct. So I'm just going to put a little star here because that one is right. All right, let's take a look down here at this one. 2 large blocks, would that weigh more than 2 small blocks? Well, if you said yes, that is true because 1 small block, remember the key? See the key up on the top? 1 large block is equal to 2 small blocks. So we have 1 large block down here and 2 small blocks. But then we have an extra large block. So yes, that one is also correct. So let me put a little star here. Okay, so look at the key once again. 1 large block is equal to 2 small blocks. We have 1 large block here, but now we have 3 small blocks. That means that there's 1 extra small block on this side. Do you see it right here? So would that make this picture true, this scale? If you said yes, you are correct. All right. So now we're going to take a look at this last one. Oh, let me mark that this one is correct too. Okay. Let's take a look at this one right here. Okay. We have 3 large blocks. And then we have 5 small blocks. That's a lot to look at. But what do you think? Do you think that that's correct? Well, let's do something. I'm going to circle one of the big blocks, and then I'm going to circle 2 of the small blocks, because remember up here at the key, 1 large block is equal to 2 small blocks. So I have 1 large block is equal to 2 small blocks on this scale. Now I'm going to do it again. We'll pick another color so you can see it. Now I'm going to do this one. I'm going to circle 1 large block and circle 2 small blocks. Okay, so far so good. Now let's take a look again at this 3rd large block. I should be circling 2 small blocks in green as well, right? Oh, look, there's only 1. So which side would be heavier? Because this can't balance, can it? So if you said that the X belongs on this balance, you are correct, because these big blocks would be heavier than the small blocks. We would need 1 more block to balance it, 1 more small block to balance it, but it's not balanced. So put your X on this one. In fact, I'm going to erase all of that to make it easy for you to look at. And I'm going to put my X on that one. Okay? All right, let's do the next one, number 2. Now we still need to use that key. Okay, look up here at the top again. 1 large block is equal to 2 small blocks. Okay, so now we're going to look at number 2. They want us to draw the small blocks needed to balance the scale. Use the key above. All right, so let's look here. We have 2 large blocks. Well, we know with 1 large block, do you remember how many small blocks we need to draw for that one? Did you say 2? You are right. Let's draw 2 of those. Then we have another large block. How many more blocks, small blocks, do we need to put on the other side of the scale to balance it? If you said 2 more, you are correct. All right. So we have balanced the scale. Now we can do the sentence beneath down here. We can say 2 large blocks are as heavy as, how many small blocks did we draw? Did you put 4 in the box? If not, put 4 in the box so that it reads again, 2 large blocks are as heavy as 4 small blocks. And that's it. That's all we're doing today. We're just balancing the scale. All right. So now your job is to complete the other side of the page, page 294. If you look at numbers 1 and number 2, you're going to draw 2 or 4 small boxes on the scale using the key. Okay, so you're going to have to add to those scales to balance them. There they have one very large block equals 3 small blocks. And then you have just some general addition or subtraction word problems underneath just as a review. If you need to draw circles to help you count or to take away, you can do that. And you also need to do your homework page, both sides, page 259 and 260. And then turn them in. Take a photo of them and turn them in. All right, until next time.